All right, guys, welcome back to another episode here on the Goofy Scoop podcast. Of course, it is Gray and I, and we're just going to talk about really anything Disney today. I don't think we really have a set plan, but we just enjoy talking about Disney so much that basically what we want to talk about, anything Disney related, it's going to go.
It's our Anything Goes episode. You never know what could happen.
Anything goes. That's one of the soundtracks off of Hollywood Studio or Hollywood Boulevard. At Hollywood Studios. Did you know that?
The only you would know that. I have no idea.
True. I guess it does help working there. But
well, when you hear it 8,000 times a day, then
talk about
that's what you get.
Yeah, and talk about like an unplanned, smooth transfer on an intro just into a conversation. Like, huh.
Ta-da!
And that sounded like Monsters Inc. laughing floor. Ta-da!
Okay, speaking of, have you watched Monsters at Work on Disney Plus?
You're gonna hate me for my answer, but no. But summer school has been keeping me so busy, dude.
Yeah, no worries. I completely understand. Best part of the entire show, my girl Roz. But spoiler alert, Roz quits in the first episode.
Why?
But her sister comes in, and it's the same character. She just has like
Is it
purple
really?
hair.
Are they like twins?
Yeah, but like one of them has like purple or pink hair, but it's the same person.
Well, you can't bring up Roz without doing the impersonation.
Oh, you want me to do the impersonation?
It's kind of a rule with Roz.
Is it?
Yeah, I think everybody will. Even if you suck at impersonations, you have to at least try Roz once after watching Monsters Inc.
That's probably true. I'm always watching, Wazowski. Always watching. I didn't like that.
No, that's pretty good. It's pretty good on my end.
Wow.
But,
glad you enjoyed it.
And what do you think about the laughing floor?
I mean, personally, I like laughing better than screaming, so like here for that. But it's an interesting like turn of events in that show. There's a lot of new characters which are like not super funny. I'm trying to get into it. I've seen like the first 2 episodes and I'm like, we'll see. So I'm trying, but it's not my favorite. But I also feel like it was one of those things that Disney kind of like threw together. Maybe not, like it could have been in the works for a while, but kind of thrown together. So
yeah, because it is seasonal now, right?
Yeah.
I want to say it is seasonal. If it's not seasonal, I know it's definitely not open annually or like all year round. I feel like they almost open it like if the park is super busy and they're just like, okay, like we got to open this up. We'll spread the people out just a little bit more. I don't know what they exactly do with the laughing floor anymore. And Stitch's Great Escape is like gone.
Ew, that's because Stitch's Great Escape at Walt Disney World was awful.
It was, dude. Chili dogs. That ride changed my perspective on chili dogs for the rest of my life.
It wasn't even a ride.
I was a kid.
So I've only ridden that ride one time, Stitch's Great Escape, and it was in 2007 when I went with my family. My sister and I went. My parents were like, "We're gonna wait outside for you. We don't really want to go," so we went. It was like a super short wait, whatever.
Smart move.
Yeah, it smelled.
You don't say that about Disney rides.
Awful.
Like
it smelled awful. Like even before the ride started, it was like, what is this smell? Like, why am I going in here? But then you get in and you put on this like bar thing. They strap you in like you're about to go off in a dang rocket ship. And then you don't move. It's not a ride.
Yeah, because they literally the only reason why they strap you in for that pull down is because isn't there just like a little bit of jolting? Like I don't even remember the full ride, but
no,
when I first went in there,
I'm pretty sure they pull it down because there's like pipes and stuff in there that like squirt the nasty smells at you. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason it was there.
Yeah. Oh, well,
gross.
Okay. So I do remember that when it was pitch dark in there, I remember that when he was escaping or whatever, that you would feel him like press down on your seat. Like I remember you'd be sitting there going, okay, where is he at? And then it'd be like,
Oh, like he
well, as
walked
he
on
was
top of
jumping
you.
around the room. I do
Okay.
remember that. But the chili dog thing was so gross.
It just wasn't a ride to me. Like it wasn't something that I really enjoyed. Definitely the most negative part of my experience.
Yeah. And now I don't say this a whole lot about Disney attractions. That one I was glad to see gone. They need to put
Mm-hmm.
something with way more potential there. However,
What do you
what
think
would
could
it
go
be?
there?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
However,
Yeah, I
like
don't
when it,
know.
the one and only ride that I ever think of with if it was to switch or if it was to be like rethemed, I always think of Rock and Roller Coaster because it seems like their contract is always up or like they're talking about making a new contract or because there for a while. I mean, it was years ago, but it was talking about going from Aerosmith to the Jonas Brothers, right?
Okay, that would be lit though.
I mean, you might like the Jonas Brothers, but I would prefer Aerosmith.
Okay, we're gonna cancel you. We're just gonna cancel culture all the way. This is not the Goofy Scoop anymore. This is not
Cancel
Jeff.
culture is
Not
not
Jeff's not
healthy,
a part of
Gray.
this. It's hello, welcome back to the Goofy Scoop. I'm Gray. Only me. Um, no, do you know how good it would be if it was literally like the Camp Rock coaster and like you're
And
just
like
like
in
going on
line,
the loops and you're
you
like,
have
this
to.
is real, this is me. That would be amazing.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never seen Camp Rock,
Oh my god.
but like like what's the other one? It's like Lemonade Mouth or something. Lemonade Mouth,
Lemonade
Camp
Mouth
Rock.
would also be an
I don't really,
amazing coaster.
I don't really watch any of those. Like
Well,
I remember my sister in the living room watching it when we were younger, but I'd be just like, yeah, Demi Lovato's attractive, but I'm not gonna sit on the couch for that. Like whatever.
okay. Demi
However,
Lovato,
I do remember
Bridget
them coming
Mendler.
down like a trail or something, and they'd be like, "Okay, bro," or like whatever.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And then
Exactly.
it's gotten huge on TikTok. That's been such like a big thing on TikTok recently. And people do the Camp Rock dance. It's
See,
hilarious.
maybe I'm just a weirdo, but I don't have TikTok downloaded either.
My gosh. Y'all, Jeff is actually 45 years old.
46
And
this year. I'll be
oh, happy
46 next
birthday.
month.
Uh,
Yeah, thank you. There's gonna
but
be some
like,
people just going, "Really? This guy's
wait,
45?"
he's so old. He looks so good for his age. Um, like those movies were so good. And I just feel like if they change, like, tell me what Aerosmith has to do with Disney. Nothing.
Oh yeah, no, nothing at all. And that I understand. That I do understand. I don't even really know why they made it Aerosmith themed to begin with.
I think it was because they sponsored the ride. Or
Is
they like gave money or like they asked Aerosmith to give money or I feel like that's because that
Yeah,
ride's been around for a while.
true. Yeah, I mean it's been around since opening day. I think, right? I
Probably. I mean,
worked
what
there.
it
I should know
opened
this. I don't know
studios
why I
opened
don't
in
know that.
what the 82.
89. I
That
think
was close.
89.
Yeah.
Because their 30-year
Um,
anniversary was like right before we showed up. Like the spring right before we showed up.
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know.
But
I just feel like I like the theming of it. You're like in a limo, you're going backstage, whatever. That's like great. But also I went on that ride twice, three times while I was there. I don't know. I was kind of nervous about the whole like
so
loop
you've
thing.
only rode
Anyway,
it 2 or 3 times.
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I was nervous about the upside down thing. But anyway, I had like two different experiences. The first time, the cast member that was like doing the whole like, hey Steven, can we get some backstage passes? Uh didn't do their job.
Oh
The
yeah.
first time
When
I
they
ever
don't
wrote it.
do it, it does kill the vibe, especially if you know
Like,
it's supposed to be there.
yeah, I was expecting it. And then the guy just like didn't do it. And I was like, I'm sorry, Steven, can I get some backstage patches? Like, even if no one else gets any, like, can I just have some? Like, come on, that makes the whole experience, right? That's the magic part of that ride. But
Yep.
then the next time I went on it, the girl was there and she was like, "Hey, Steven." And I was like, "This girl knows what's up. This girl works at Disney World for a reason. This is the one."
Yep.
Um, and so I just feel like that really like impacts the whole experience. Um, and so I feel like that needs to be changed. Also, the video of Aerosmith in that is like so bad because
Where
it's
they're
so like it's
in
old.
the studio.
Like, yeah, but like it just
Yeah.
like the quality of the video is so bad just because it's old. Um, and so I feel like let's change it to Lemonade Mouth. Let's change to the Jonas Brothers. Like, let's go.
You know what I want to change
I'm
it
here
to?
for it.
You know
What?
what I think would be cool, Gray?
Tell me.
Emperor's New Groove.
No.
Why? Why no? Not even
Okay,
open to the idea of it.
no, I'm not. And here's the reason why. I think Emperor's New Groove is not that great of a movie. I also think it's not very popular. And reason being, I worked at the Disney store. Emperor's New Groove went through like an anniversary or something. They made a ton of merchandise for it. No one bought it.
Really?
No one bought it.
Yeah, really.
We had
Maybe it's just because I
coffee
was at Hollywood,
mugs.
but
We had coffee mugs and jersey, like t-shirt jersey things for days about Emperor's New Groove. Nobody wanted it. No one cared. It's like one of the unsung heroes though, because like there are some funny parts in that movie, but I just feel like it's not popular enough to get its own ride.
yeah, I
But
feel
you
like
could,
it's a very select crowd.
yeah. But you could also say the same thing about Camp Rock, Lemonade Mouth, because those movies now are our generation of like, we grew up with this, we would love it. But people now growing up would be like, who are these old guys walking down
Disney,
the street? Like,
Lemonade Mouth, Camp Rock, High School Musical, all that stuff, except for like they have a TV series now or like a Disney Plus series of High School Musical, I
and
think.
it's amazing. But go
I
ahead and
haven't
finish your
seen it
thought, and
yet,
then we'll get into that.
but um like that does not feel like all those shows happened that long ago. But now
Mhm.
Disney has changed so much since our, I guess you can call that like our early teen years or our mid-teen years, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just crazy to think like that era of Disney is over. And like now I understand why my parents are just like, no, you guys' generation's music is trash and the 80s are awesome, which the 80s are awesome. But like now I understand because I'm like now I look at the new Disney and I'm like, no, that's not Disney.
It's trash. It's
Like
garbage.
even though I don't want to watch Camp Rock and Lemonade Mouth and High School Musical, but I did want to watch, other shows. Like I would much rather watch Camp Rock before I watch this new stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The new zombies. Okay, Disney. Zombies were cool like way back in the day. By the time you got onto the zombies fad, it was over. So why are you doing a third movie for zombies? Great question. No one wants it, but here we are anyway.
Did you ever go to like the Disney Junior party with any of our friends at
Let's
studios?
see. Doc McStuffins and Vampirina, my girl, she was there.
She was there. Yeah.
Um, I don't know anyone else. There was a girl with like redhead pigtail things. I don't know her name.
Just say I
Judy
remember them
something.
like being outside of the
Uh,
building for meet and greets, but I never
yeah.
went and saw the show. I know
I never
Leonella
went and
and
saw the
her
show.
yeah, like Leonella moved to that attraction or show in her second half of her ICP because they end up having to switch like halfway through, which I
Mhm.
hated that for them. I hated that for them. I
Yeah,
would have
that's
hated
awful.
moving to another location.
Mm,
That was, I mean, granted, I mean, you worked at the boardwalk. Would you want to go in
yeah.
and work inside of a park?
Um, if I worked in an attraction, I think I would want to
What attraction would you want though?
because I don't care.
Really?
Honestly, honestly, Jungle Cruise. I
You'd
want to
be
be a
good at
skipper
Jungle
so
Cruise.
bad.
I could easily see you working
Um,
Jungle Cruise. You'd be good at it.
yeah, either that or like a safari driver.
So, dude, safari drivers though, like they have to. There's like apparently like a lot of protocol behind all their stuff. Like if this happens, do this kind
Oh,
of
I'm
thing.
sure.
Like
I
the
mean, you've
Jungle
got
Cruise is
live
just like
animals around you.
Yeah, the Jungle Crew's like, well, if the rhino's not bucking today, like that just means he's shut down. So
Make up a joke. Yeah.
just
I
say
mean,
2 or 3 of these jokes and get him by it.
yeah. But like I would love either one of those because I get to talk the whole time and I enjoy the center of attention.
So if you had to
Surprise,
work,
surprise.
hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, just like AJ, working the
Yeah.
boats, he did a really good
Mhm.
job with that too because he likes the center of attention. Some people just
Right.
hold it really well. You and AJ hold the room very well. But
you.
if you had to work an attraction with rails, though, would it be Slinky Dog? Because that's your favorite ride.
I do love Slinky Dog, but I just feel like I would get so bored of it.
It'd be
Like
like one
hearing
of
it over
those
and over
where,
again.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like, for instance, like I feel Space Mountain's my favorite ride at Magic Kingdom. But if I was
Mm,
to be a cast member working for, Stella, the name of the mountain, I would get very bored of it, or just like my opinion of it would change, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. It, I
So,
I mean, it would just be different because like it's your favorite attraction, but then you go and if you work there, it's like, oh, I'm going back to work. Like that just stinks. Like I don't want to do that.
yeah. Well, it's just like, for instance, I think one attraction I would be okay with working at would be the Haunted Mansion. Because
Mm,
it is it one of my favorites? Yeah, it's up there. It's probably like top 5,
yeah, but you
but
can be in a
it's
bad mood and work there.
ex- exactly.
Yeah.
And like you don't have to be very sociable. You're kind of,
Mm,
trained to, not necessarily be creepy, but just kind of make the guests a little like on edge. Like, for instance, when you walk into the stretching room, I love when they say, fill in all the dead space. It's like small little things like that I like. And you can, you're trained to say that and be there
yeah.
as a cast member for that. And the pictures that a lot of those cast members got, like after hours, or like as they were cleaning up the mansion and getting
They're
ready to go
great
home.
photos.
Dude, they
Yeah.
got awesome photos. I was so jealous. So
Yeah.
jealous.
I don't know. Work an attraction with rails is kind of hard. Like, do you count Splash Mountain as rails?
I just count that as a water ride. I know that there's like rails
Mm,
underneath the water, but
okay. So like specifically just the coasters. So like Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog, Space Mountain, Everest.
technically,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it,
I
right?
guess that's such a limitation, now that I think about it, such a limitation. Because there's really not a
I'd
whole
work.
lot of rails, or like
Yeah, there's really not.
thrill rides that involve rails. Because a lot of them are just, like Rise of the Resistance. It's just a computer chip
Mm,
that tells the cart where to go. Like it's
yep. And that's where all of the rides are going, I think. I mean, all the rides they've built in Disney Paris and Tokyo Disneyland, I think they're all going towards that direction of like the trackless system.
yeah, dude. I want to go to Disneyland Paris so bad, and like for one main reason, because they have a dragon underneath that castle.
True. Yeah.
Like,
I honestly I want to go to all the parks just to ride pirates in all the parks because they're all different.
have you seen the one in Shanghai?
Yes.
Granted, I don't know how to speak Chinese, but it'd be worth it to go on there, even
But
though
it,
I have
it
no
like
idea what they're
tells a
saying.
different story. There's like a different story that
Mm-hmm.
it talks about and that kind of thing, which is I just think is really cool. So
Yep. I mean, it
um
looks amazing on YouTube, so I can't imagine what it would look like in person.
yeah, yeah,
So, and I'm
be
still I'm
really cool.
still surprised that they have not added Davy Jones at all at the ones in Disneyland and Disney World. All I remember from Davy Jones is just like having that mist, and it was like he was projected onto the mist, saying, "Dead men
Mm,
tell no tales." That's all I remember
mm.
of seeing Davy Jones, and it was cool the first time riding it, seeing Captain Jack Sparrow added to it as well. But they need to add more.
I just feel like you got to be careful with rides like that. Pirates is one of those rides that like people get really into. And so like if you touch anything, people will have a heart attack.
Well, it's just like the redheaded winch. There's a lot of people that freaked
Hmm.
out about that. And I'm not even gonna lie. Like at first I was just like, I was like, okay, like that's kind of historically accurate with the times. But then again, it's just like, okay, like I understand, maybe we do need to change it, but I don't know. I'm still back and forth on it. I think the way that Disney did it was a really good way that they did it. But it was also just kind of like, okay, it was historically accurate with the times. Why would we change it?
But also the same thing with like Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise is an opening day attraction, and they've gone in and like redone a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because and they just try to change with the times. I think they try to change with the times a little bit too much. So
Yeah.
I don't know, because they took
Splash Mountain, mate, rest in peace.
Yeah, but I think Splash Mountain is good, but I think Princess Tiana coming in is going to be a good change.
It better be. I'm gonna be really mad if they mess it up.
Because I think they're even changing.
Splash Mountain's my favorite mountain.
I'm like fighting a sneeze right now. But I think they're even changing Tom Sawyer's Island to like a Princess Tiana themed meet and greet area. And I think that's where they'll have her restaurant, I think, too.
I'm kind of okay with that.
I think it'd be cool. I think knowing what Disney can do, especially like seeing like with Be Our Guest restaurant and, Cinderella's restaurant and everything like that with the meet and greets there, I think that they can pull it off really, really well. Granted, I'm not into camping and all of the woodsy stuff like you are, so I'm sure that you probably have a hard time letting Tom Sawyer go.
See, I went to Tom Sawyer's Island once. I really enjoyed it while I was there. They had the fort thing, and the barrel bridge was like a lot of fun. That was kind of cool. Never seen that before. But it was just kind of dead. And I don't know if it was dead because like nobody went over there, or it was dead because nothing happened. It was just like, look, we have this island. Woohoo. Like,
I was about to say,
who is Tom Sawyer and why is he at Disney? Like,
True.
I know the story,
it's
but like,
probably just because of the times.
Yeah, like what is he in? Nothing.
Kind of like with Aerosmith. They probably just made a deal or something along those lines where it's just like, yeah, I think Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer would look good over there.
Right. Exactly.
Let's just do it.
So it's just kind of like old and just like there.
Yeah. Because I think the only thing that really sticks out to me, or like what I remember, is I know that they have a restroom over on Tom Sawyer's Island, right?
Yep, there's a restroom over there. It's right at the boat dock.
Yeah, because if anybody needs to take care of business, and they want more privacy, I think that's a pretty good place to go.
There is a restaurant over there too. It's just like,
is there?
Open from 12 to 2 on Tuesdays, and that's it.
Well, no wonder I never knew about that. 2 hours out of the whole week. Come on.
I mean, that's probably an exaggeration, but like it's not open very much. It's only open on special occasions.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like just lost the name of it. The pizza place over in Grand Avenue, Pizza Rizzo's. Like they're open seasonally.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think they're only open like maybe 4 months out of the year, I think, maybe.
Well, that's how Primeval Whirl was in Dinoland, and then it shut down forever.
Do you think that they should change that section? Like, do you think that they should take
Dinoland
out?
I like Dinoland, but I like Dinoland because I know the story. A lot of people don't know the story, and they're like, this is out of place. And like, it does seem out of place, but I like it because I know the story behind it. But I also think that Primeval Whirl's gone. I rode that once because it was only open one time when I was there. But glad I rode it, so I can say I rode it. They have Dinosaur, which is an okay ride. And then that's where I thought,
if it went away, I would be mildly upset, but it wouldn't make me salty.
I think I'd be upset because they would need to put something else there.
True.
But Disney doesn't own the rights to Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, so like, what else?
And they just updated that at Universal, so
right. And I think Dinoland is like kind of Disney is like, we have dinosaurs too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and, just to refresh my memory, Greg, because it sounds like you know the story better than I do. I think I know the story, but what exactly is the story of Dinoland? Like, what's the purpose of it?
This is very loose. but there's like a couple that comes to this area with dinosaurs. And they're the ones that own the gas station that's there, which is the merch shop in Dinoland.
Like that's where Chip and Dale have a meet and greet, I think, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So this couple like owns this gas station, and there's like dinosaurs, whatever. But then dinosaurs go away, and this couple's running out of money because no one's coming to see the dinosaurs anymore because they're gone. So they open up this carnival, which is like where all the carnival games and stuff come from. So like this is all their carnival idea. And then the Dino Institute, like the study people, move into the area to find the fossils and like study the animals, and that's where the dinosaur ride comes from. There's specifics of that, but
I
like
didn't
I
know
think
that. I didn't know that touch on it. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, that's like the general story of the whole thing. And like there's like the people are named certain things, like it's like mom and pop shop of whatever their last name is, and like some of the restaurant or like the one quick service area location is like named after one of their kids, and some of the carnival games have something to do. I don't know. There's like specifics that go into it in a lot of details, but overall, I think most people don't know the story, and it's just like weird. There's a random carnival at Disney World.
Yeah, because me personally, I think it is a boring section. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a cast member working there, but
that's the only Dumbo ride in Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah,
Triceratops
or like
Spin.
yeah.
And evidently, Disney has to have a Dumbo ride everywhere. There's one in every land in Magic Kingdom. Got to have one in Dino Land because it ends in the word land, so we got to put one there. So I don't know. Next, we're gonna have one called Around the World, and it's gonna be in the center of the lake at Epcot. And you're gonna get in like one of the Around the World in 80 days, like flying pirate ship things, and just go around in circles. Another Dumbo ride.
What they'll do is they'll have
that would be
ports.
cool though.
They'll have one over in they'll have a port over in Canada, and then they'll have a port over in like what like in I guess right by the African outpost in Germany. Like I guess that's kind of lateral, but what it'll do is just spin the whole time while it just slowly takes you from one port to the other.
Kind of like a ski
That'll be
lift.
around the world in 80 minutes.
What a waste of time that would be. If you just sit on that thing for an hour and a half.
You know people would do it.
Oh, 100%.
And it would be the drunk adults too. You know,
true.
They'd be like 5-6 drinks deep. Let's go ride this.
I would do it. 100% I would do it.
I would do it just to say I did it. After that,
yeah,
I'd be like, you guys have fun.
That's why I would do it. That's why I would do it, just to say I did it. But also, if you're like on a date at Epcot, what a nice like little like, hey, let's go hang out on this Around the World ride.
Only if you're digging it and she's digging it. Because would you imagine like if you weren't digging it and she was like, let's go ride this? Like, oh my God, I got to sit next to her for 80
and you're stuck.
minutes and we're spinning.
You're stuck on this date. You're just like sitting there and you're like, and what's your favorite color? Blue? Cool. Mine too. Like, that would be awful.
It 3 or 4 times. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I could ride Dumbo for a straight 80 minutes. And that's with it being stationary.
No.
Now, what I do like is the magic carpets, because you have the spitting camels. That adds some spice to that ride. Because if the person you're riding with, if you're riding with anybody, if they're not paying attention and you got that little knob, if you time it right,
you get them hit by the camels. Yeah,
that camel is your best friend and will make you laugh for the next 30 minutes.
That's very true. I think Astro Orbiter is awful.
I don't like how it's up top there. Like, I'm not usually one to be scared of heights, but it just makes me a little uneasy.
It doesn't bother me how high it up it is. What bothers me is how fast it goes. Because you're in it and you like get swung to the outside because they're like trying to put the G's on you or whatever. It just feels very, very fast.
Is that also what it is? Does that one spin faster than the other ones? Is that
not? It doesn't go like
uneasy.
It doesn't go like super, super fast, but like I also think it's because the circle is smaller. Like in Dumbo, you go like a big circle around.
Mm,
I think
okay.
Astro Orbiter is like really small, so it feels
Okay.
like it's
That
going
makes
faster,
sense.
even if maybe it's not. Um, but also just the seating situation is awkward. You get two people in a rocket, and it's one strap that goes around both of you, and one person has to sit between the legs of the other one.
So it's almost it's like space, but without that the back.
Mm,
I
yes,
don't I didn't
yes,
remember that
exactly.
it being like that.
Mm. It's like how Space Mountain originally was before they redid it.
Okay.
When Space
See,
Mountain opened, that's how it was.
I prefer Space Mountain in California
I've never been.
next to each other.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't remember if it's um 3 spots in a rocket or if it's just 2, but I definitely know, like, for instance, let's just say our group of 6, me and you would be able to sit next to each other. AJ and Miranda would be able to sit next to each other, and then Lauren and Kylie would be able to sit next to each other. And I think that's one rocket. And then it's just like the ones here where they have 2 rockets for
Okay, but
each
see, all 6 of
poster.
us could fit in 2 rockets.
True.
Like we could fit on the same
Like
track.
rocket 1, rocket 2, or whatever.
Yeah, we could do that. Which I mean, you're not in the picture together, which kind of stinks. You get 2 different pictures, but whatever. So what?
Yeah. Photo.
I just
Would you
like
ever
being
want
in
to
the
work
very
PhotoPass?
front. I would love PhotoPass,
I think I
but
would too.
not because of the camera and taking pictures of people, because of taking other people's phones and taking pictures of them.
Explain.
Because like I would love to be the guy that like, oh yeah, sure, I can take a photo for you, and like take their phone, and then I get like the perfect angle. They're like, oh my gosh, this is the best picture we've ever taken.
I think I
You're so
would
good at angles
probably.
and lighting. I would love that.
You bet you I am. But I think what I would probably be known for if I was PhotoPass was they'd have at least 3 or 4 selfies of me before they had any photos of them. I'd
I
be
wonder if
that
that's against
cast
the
member.
rules. I feel like that's against the rules.
I don't think so. I I feel like at least if they turned around and put them in the picture, like the selfie, and then like you have the PhotoPass
Yeah,
person, and then you have the family
yeah,
behind them. I feel like you could do
yeah,
that. Because I know that
maybe.
there's a couple of times when I would cross the street on Hollywood Boulevard, like if I was going from Celebrity Five and Dime to Keystone
Mhm.
for whatever my task was at that moment. I
Yeah.
remember there'd be a couple of times I'd be in the background. I'd like strike a pose or something, just get
Yeah, but
into
that's you like
somebody's family
walking
photo.
by. But like the actual photo pass, like I wonder if it's like, as photo pass, you cannot take photos of yourself on other people's devices. Because like
True.
people ask you all the time to take pictures. Like I just wonder if that's like it may not be, but I just wonder if it is.
I could see it definitely being talked about or possibly being a rule.
Because I feel like we're not the first ones to think about that.
Oh yeah. If we've thought about a certain rule or anything in Disney, that the higher ups have thought about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's so much that they have to think about that the average person does not even think about when it comes to Disney parks.
Right. Also, I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh, haha, you took a photo on my phone. But then there would be that one family that just complain, like goes to guest relations and they're like, this cast member took a photo on my phone. And I don't know. Like,
I only have so much memory. He ruined my
right,
trip.
right.
It's just like, okay, well,
And they're like,
it's
oh,
not
you
like
want
he
dinner
did
on
it to
us?
ruin
Here you
your
go.
trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's funny, but some people just don't get that. So I
Is
just feel like it would be,
speaking, yeah. Like speaking of wanting to do a job like PhotoPass, talk about not wanting to do a job, guest relations.
I don't know. I think I would enjoy guest relations.
Would you really?
I think I would.
What what makes you say that though? Because let's just say 8 times out of 10, the 8 families out of the 10 that you're gonna help, you're gonna make their day, or they're gonna
Yeah,
just walk away really happy or really surprised that you were able to help them that much. But those
exactly.
2 families or those 2 people, I think it would just drive me nuts to the point where I'm like, those 2 people, I don't know if it makes it worth it for those 8, because they are
Yeah, but like
just
I got that in
such
quick service.
buttholes to me.
Like Like, oh my gosh, I had to wait 5 whole minutes for this fresh pizza made from scratch. That's ridiculous. You ruined my vacation.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I got that in
And
quick
dude,
service.
that is their go-to saying too. Like I loved the guests when I worked there. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
when you had that one guest, and I didn't run into a whole lot of them, thank God. But I know that there's a lot of places where they do run into them, at least once a day. Like if you don't run into it once a day, you're not working. But
Yeah.
that is like their go-to is you ruined my vacation.
But I think it's because people know if they say that at Disney, they get stuff for free.
Oh, 100%. But I remember working D-Tech one time in Celebrity Five and Dime. They didn't have a phone case. And it was like one that was already pre-made. It wasn't one that you could customize. I
Yeah.
don't even remember what the phone case was. I just remember that they wanted the phone case, but we were out at that time. None in the back whatsoever. I came back and I was like, hey guys, unfortunately, we're not going to have it here at the store. But what I can do is I can look it up and see where it's at. It's just not going to be here at the store. Oh, this is our last day at the park. You ruined our vacation. We don't have time to go to Disney Springs. We don't have time.
Yep.
It's just like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I was like, if you have time, if you end up making time, go to Disney Springs. If not, you can order it from the Disney store online. Most of the merchandise we have in the parks, we have online.
ShopDisney.com. Like, hello.
Yeah, which is an amazing store, by the way.
Yeah.
What is the most absurd story you've ever had with a guest?
Easy. I feel like I might have told this before on an episode. I was working at the pizza window at Boardwalk and like made this pizza, gave it to the family, whatever. Like 20 minutes later, they walk up and said, our pizza's burnt. We need a new one. They opened the pizza box. Nothing but one piece of crust left. See this piece that's burnt. We need a new pizza.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't
Like,
see the pizza.
sorry, ma'am, you've already eaten the pizza. Like, if you would have brought this to me earlier. Well, this is just ridiculous. I paid for a fresh pizza and this one was burnt. Well, yes, ma'am, we do have a wood fire stove, so it's going to be a little bit crispier, and it's also going to have a little bit of black on the bottom, but that's not burnt. That's just what's in the oven that gets onto the
Yeah,
crust.
so wood
Oh
fire
well,
pizza.
I need another one. I need to talk to your manager. Okay, fine. I'll go get my coordinator.
So what ended up happening? Did she get a free pizza?
Yeah. Yeah, she got a free pizza.
It's insane.
But like ridiculous. Like you ate a whole pizza. You ate the whole thing. And then you're gonna come up. This little piece right here is burnt. First of all, it wasn't burnt. Second of all, no, you ate the whole pizza.
Yep.
You don't need another one.
And hopefully if I, for whatever reason, end up working for the company again one day, hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying this, but I think that Disney has done it to themselves in that aspect.
Yeah.
I think Disney has heightened the bar so high to make their guests happy to where it's just like, okay, well, really the only thing Disney can do is just give you free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Disney already does so much great, amazing things for their guest to the point where it's like really the only way to make up for it is just like, oh, okay, well, your kid was, being a brat, tripped on the curb, scraped his knee. So yeah, here's a free $20 bubble wand.
Mm-hmm.
And, here's a free reservation to Mama Melrose. And it's just like, it's like, no, like, certain situations, you have to hold your own accountability to the situation.
If you know how to complain and who to complain to, I'm convinced you can get your entire Disney vacation for free.
Don't use that to your advantage though. Like,
oh no. Yeah. And that's, I would never do that.
It's terrible when people do that. I like that. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok of that girl. I've seen it on other social media platforms. I think I remember seeing it on Facebook for the first time, but where she was like wearing a crop top and I guess it was like revealing her under boob or something, maybe side boob. I don't know what the situation exactly was, but she ended up getting a free shirt.
Oh, and she got a Spirit jersey, not just like a regular t-shirt.
Yeah, so not a $25 or $35 shirt. This was a $75 Spirit jersey, which just makes the story worse.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing that, and she posted it on TikTok and was like, "I got a free shirt from Disney World."
Yeah, and it's just like seriously,
Like
like
it
come
was a
on.
good thing. Like that is not right.
This
It's just
brings
not
me
right.
to another point too. And I feel like we're changing topic really fast, but we warned you in the beginning. However, when it comes to, there's things that guys wear that they shouldn't be wearing either. I get that, but I'm going to pick
Mhm.
on the women a little bit. Just like her crop top or whatever the situation was, under boob, side boob, too much cleavage. I don't know what the situation was exactly. I just know that she got a free $75 shirt because of it, and it just makes me mad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like these girls our age that wear these shorts that have their butt cheeks hanging out.
Mhm.
There's a time and a place for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a 25-year-old that is attracted to women. Of course, I want to see this, but I don't think that you should be doing this at a Disney park because you have two to 3-year-old children, all the way up to grown adults. But basically, where I'm getting at is you have 5 and 6-year-old kids, even 8, 9-year-old boys, that are eye level with that. So you might be trying to attract somebody that is the same age as you, but you're not thinking that there's these little kids in line right behind you that they can literally see your butt cheeks because they're eye
That's a hot
level with it.
take.
It irritates me. It
Yeah.
drives me nuts. Time
I
and
get
place
that.
for it. If you want to wear that in the club, be my guest, but not the Mickey Mouse Club, girlfriend.
Not the Mickey Mouse Club. That is so funny.
But
That's so funny.
however, I guess I'll kind of jump back to an absurd story with a guest that I've had. I was
Yes.
working Movie Land with his name was Mackenzie. I don't know if he works there anymore. I think he was part-time. Awesome dude, loved working with him. But I just remember, like, even after the interaction happened, he just looked at me and he goes, "You were so patient with him. I don't know how you did it." I was like, "Me either, to be honest with you." Like, it got to the point where I just basically lost track of time. But this guest was asking me, he's like, "Hey, where's the ferry to get back to Magic Kingdom from here?"
You
And
were
I
at
was like,
studios.
"We're at Studios. We're at Movie Land,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
store connected to the main gate entrance or whatever. Like half the
Yeah.
store's out, half the store's in."
Mhm.
But anyway, he was like, "Yeah, how do I get back to Magic Kingdom ferries here? I got to go meet my family back at Magic Kingdom. I just had to come here for a gift or two real quick." I said, "Well, the fastest way for you is going to be, the buses." I don't remember the bus stops off the top of my head. I want to say Magic Kingdom was like bus stop 27. I could be wrong. But I was like, fastest way is going to be the buses. Or what you can do is if you're staying at one of the resorts, you can stop by Pop Century, Art of Animation, any of the ones that the Skyliners can connect to. You can drop those gifts off back in your room, or you can take it over to package pickup. They can put it in your room, whatever you want to do to make it faster,
Mhm.
but you cannot take the ferry back to Magic Kingdom from here. And he refused. He
Yeah.
was just like, he's like, "So what are those boats?" And I was like, "Well, those boats are going to take you to the boardwalk. And that's basically about it." I was like, "They're not really going to get you anywhere." I was like, "It can get you to Epcot, but it just spends more
Takes a
time."
while,
And
but it'll
he
get you
just
there.
he just refused to believe me to the point where it just irritated me so bad. And I remember that was one of the most absurd because I sounds like I undersold this story, but I kid you not, it was a 40-minute conversation. It was like 40 to 45 minutes of him just going back and forth with me. I'm like, "You're wasting
That
more
doesn't
time
surprise me.
trying to prove your point to somebody that works here and
Mm.
kind of understands what's going on a day-to-day basis."
Well, how many times did you get the question, where's Disney World from here? You're at Disney World. No,
You're
no, no,
you're
no.
at this
The
world.
the Disney World with the castle.
Yep. But
Like
so many
how
people
many
just think that,
times?
oh, more than you think. But you know what I got more than Where's Disney World? Is this not Universal Studios? And I was just like, unfortunately, no. Like, if you ended up purchasing the wrong tickets, you can go talk to guest relations, see what you can do. But I had
Mm,
that more than,
yeah.
is this Disney World? Or how do I get to
Where's
Disney World from here?
where's Harry Potter World? Got
Yep.
that a lot.
But however, there was a difference with guests. There were a lot of guests that it was just like, okay, I'll help you out real quick, even though this is miserable because you're just not listening to anything I'm saying. But I'm not also going to let that overshadow or overcast the fact that there were so many amazing guests that it's just like you could tell that you made their hour, their day, their week, their month, their vacation.
Yes.
Like those were worth it to the point where, I remember working at Crossroads, and that was basically like a great value brand of guest relations. We had like no power to do anything, but we would basically get asked questions all the time and we would have to answer them. And I just remember all the time, them whipping out their map, like, hey, where's this, and this? And like, or do you have any information on this? And I just remember the first month of working there, I would be so afraid of getting asked those questions because I was like, man, I have vacationed here multiple times and I'm a huge fan of Disney. And it bothers me that I can't answer these questions accurately. But like after that, I remember one time taking a map home and just studying the map, figuring out where everything was at. And then after that, I just remember being able to help guests all the way down to a T. I'd have a Sharpie ready. Hey, is it okay if I mark on your map? If anything, if you don't want me to mark on this one, can you grab me another one right over there if I didn't have any next to me? And I would just be circling stuff, numbering it. Like, this is what you need to do for itinerary. Like, go to this, this, and this. Make sure you get a boarding pass for rides, all this stuff. Like, I don't know. But yeah, those one or two guests that made it hell to be a cast member those days, they made it rough for some of the guests where it was making their day. But I tried not to ruin it with those 8 out of 10 that made my day by helping them.
You try not to harp on the hard stories, but at the same time, those are the ones that are remembered, unfortunately. And that comes in anything, though. That's like,
yep. You always remember the negative stuff.
One person with bad press is going to tell the world more about how terrible you are than the 100 people that have had the best experience ever.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, here's the thing: have you ever had a massage before, Gray? Like, have you ever gone somewhere and got a massage? No,
I have not.
Well, see, for instance, like, I get a massage pretty frequently. It's to the point where I don't really remember what my last massage felt like, like on my back and arms and whatnot. But I still remember what it felt like when I felt my arm snap. So it's just like, like obviously a massage feels way better, but it's the bad memory that I remember all the way down to the nitty gritty details. So I think that's what you're kind of saying is, I totally understand
that. That's why Disney has to make every single guest be happy by giving them all the free things. That's just how it works.
Free is one of my favorite words, but free is a very dangerous
good word.
Disney.
Also very true.
That's why half my name involves it. Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
That was pretty bad.
I love
that. That was a dad joke.
Okay, but I loved it a little bit too. Anyway, Jeff, I think that was a pretty good hodgepodge of an episode.
I think if we go any longer, I don't even know how long we've been recording. I don't have any reference of time in front of me, but I think if we go any longer, I think it'd probably go for 2 or 3 more hours longer, which will be for another time.
If we're talking everything Disney and we just talk about Disney forever, we could never end the conversation. So maybe we'll have another episode like this in the future, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, just wait until we have Kylie, Miranda, Lauren, and AJ on here all at the same time. It's probably going to be like 3 or 4 hours. Which
that won't even be a conversation.
Recording this on Zoom and then exporting it to be able to post it like I do is going to be the longest export.
12 days later.
Oh yeah, the little SpongeBob thing. 12 days later.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, hey, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure that you like and subscribe. And then also, I do have an Instagram page, The Goofy Scoop. You guys go on there. I will post. I try to post weekly. It's not promised. We're all busy. I understand that, please. But yeah, if you like it, like and subscribe, and wait until next week for some more information. Great. Anything else you want to add before we call it?
That's all, folks.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
Bleep, 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 bleep. That's all, folks.
All right. Well, you guys have a good one and catch you guys later.
Bye.